God dag, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Dreadnought Improvement Project. We're gonna fight a British battlecruiser now. It's been a while since I've seen a British capital ship. I thought they all went extinct, but this Royal Alfred class must have just been launched. Alright, it's got 6 17.3 inch guns. That's decent, I guess. It's a big ship though. 65,000 tons. I think they could have fit more main guns on. No, they couldn't. Ah, yeah, I know what problem they ran into, because I ran into the same problem when I was trying to refit some captured British ships and give them Mark V 17-inch guns. I haven't updated the version of the game I'm playing because I don't want to break my campaign, but apparently this has been fixed. Rocket looked into it. But 17-inch guns, British 17-inch guns to be specific, when they get to Mark V, if you increase the caliber to 17.1 or larger, the size of the turret is just gonna balloon. Are gonna be insanely big. So that's why the British could only fit 3 turrets on that pretty big battlecruiser. 65,000 tons, that's the same size as this battleship. And I've got 5 main gun turrets. Only 16th though. Only, quote unquote. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, you can see these turrets. They make the ship look smaller than it is, just because they're that big. Yeah. At least the weight is about what it should be. 1,600 tons for twin 17.3 inch guns. That seems about correct. Armor is not that good actually. It only has Turtleback Citadel 4, which means it doesn't have the 3rd layer. So 4.3 on the 2nd layer, that is 13.2 inches equal. I can do that. We can go through that kind of armor. Let's see, how far away are we? I should have checked before zooming back. 55. So not quite in range. We're gonna have to close in a bit. But they're closing in too, so it shouldn't take long. So any moment now. There we go. And we're just going to turn broadside. What's the extended armor? 1.1. And there we go. Maybe, let's see. Something like that. maybe more like this, where I got the muzzle flash as well. Yeah. I think that's pretty neat. Gotta have like the money shot of the quadruple super firing main gun turrets. There we go. We scored the first couple of flooding hits. Get a couple more hits out of this salvo as well, knocking out some secondary guns. And they did score some hits in return on Surtoll. But we're scoring a lot more and more punishing hits on them, even taking out their tower. That's a good early start. Damage taken, tower out, and their accuracy will suffer for that. More flooding hits. The damage I'm taking in return is very minimal. At least thus far. At around 20,000 meters, I will start going through their citadel. They cannot go through mine at that range. Might not have to go through their citadel. I think the ship is just gonna disintegrate. I think that was aiming at the Penno. No, just partial and overfence, but anyway. We're knocking them out, and there he goes. Incomparable. Did not compare favorably to my battleships. And here we go. Two light cruisers, actually, and a destroyer. I got two battlecruisers, so this should also be a fairly simple match. Alright. I do not need these two destroyers right now. Still a good idea to keep them in the task force should I run into something something bigger. Like, for example, a couple of battleships with 18-inch guns. Which is what happened to the unfortunate Battlecruiser Bustenschall. She also had a destroyer escort, but they were out of torpedoes. So maybe make sure these guys do not needlessly spend their torpedoes on targets that I can easily deal with my 15-inch guns. Alright, we're in firing range. I'm just going to turn broadside and pummel them to dust. Nelson and getting stopped. And you can set secondaries to fire at the DD if it gets close enough. But the light cruiser is definitely the priority targets. And they got more dangerous torpedoes. You've not launched yet. Neither has St. Paul. Branch is getting closer. Okay, looks like one of you changed targets. Oh, just as well. At least it died quickly. There's some times when these DDs are just incredibly survivable. Okay, both of you are not firing at the... Okay, never mind. No torpedoes have been launched. That's wonderful. Means I don't have to maneuver or do anything like that. I basically don't have to do anything right now. I can just watch. Nice. And a single Liberty class destroyer. Right, that's the one I thought I was gonna do just off camera, but ended up getting, when I loaded up the save, ended up getting the Battlecruiser fight first. So, and I did most of it off camera, but now we are in range with a couple of light cruisers. So we're gonna take it from here. And they have launched torpedoes. So we're gonna turn a bit. What kind of torps did you have? 24-inch electrics? Electric torpedoes with 17.2 kilometer range. That's pretty impressive. A torpedo speed of 47 knots. Those are some crazy good torpedoes. I think Britain has just kept torpedo technology as their only or main focus of research. So they probably got a bajillion repeatable techs. And there we go. Surrendered. Right. One more meeting and a convoy. 2 Kennison-class destroyers. Facing off against a pretty big task force. Let's just send out some a battlecruiser or 2. And the job fell to the battlecruisers Ilmarinen and Väinämöinen, which I thought had their last battle a couple of months ago, but I guess they get to do some more work before retiring. But this is a fairly low risk operation. I think these are currently the oldest ships I have in active service. I've gotten quite a few refits though, since originally commissioned. There we go. I think that was Ilmarinen scoring a pretty big hit on Benfold. And Väinämöinen follows up with a huge hit on William Ditter. Which will go down from that, I'm pretty sure. Can drop down to a cruising speed of wait, only 23 knots? I guess so. Anyway. Yeah, 80,000. Take that. Somehow still afloat, but only barely. And there we go. Nice. Alright, and those of course worth nothing, because these are worth almost nothing. There's a convoy battle here. Ooh. Freya versus Macon, and 15 transports. Viking 27. You know, I think early torpedo spread towards the convoy and then hoping to hit the cruiser might be a play to make here. Maybe. There we go, cruiser has been spotted. The convoy is hanging around here. There's a big convoy, 15 ships. They do not have torpedoes. That's good to know, because that would have been a lot of fish to dodge if every single transport ship had oxygen torpedoes. That would be a challenge in and of itself. Never mind the escort. Turn you around, get those torps in the water, and you can just go back. Or rather, you can do donuts here until I need you again. I just want to approach from such a direction that I know the cruiser will be in the path of the torpedoes. Which so far it looks like it is. They missed. Anyway. Secondaries can start working on the transport. Well, the main guns target West Virginia. There we go, already scoring some floating hits. These American cruisers are not easy to handle. I mean, I typically get it done with one of these, but it's a fairly fair match. Mainly on account of those torpedoes that I constantly have to dodge, which means I need to be turning. Of course has unfortunate side effects, but my guns have done a good number on that cruiser. So you gotta wait for the A and B turrets to traverse around again. And luckily it looks like I've blown up their deck launchers. They only have 2 underwater torps left. So that shouldn't be a big problem from now on. Their main tower is also out, which is good. If I can just get a bit more flooding on the aft, on the stern. And there we go. Now it's transport time. Oh, they did launch. I thought I blew up their launchers, but there you go, dead torpedo. Apparently they did launch a last spread of torps from the deck launcher. And I saw them just in time. Let's not have Viking 27 eat those torpedoes. It would be unfortunate. It's not going to be of much use hunting the transports though. Main guns on the one furthest away. Secondaries on the closest one. There's a lot of fire coming in from the transports, but it's not very effective. Especially compared to my own secondary battery, which now also includes the 2-inch guns, which are in range. Let's drop down to ×2 here, because it was getting a little bit choppy with all the projectiles. I think we're just gonna make most of the transports surrender. Main guns off. Let the secondaries handle it. Yeah, we're dipping down into single-digit FPS here. You can see it's very, very choppy the way my cruiser moves. And that was the last one. Alright. Nice. 15 transports. Not bad. It's been a while since I've seen a convoy of that size. Alright. Yeah, you're not pulling off that invasion. Maybe you are, because you just moved in a battleship. Yeah. Right. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna move in a couple of battleships as well. Just gonna take care not to, because these have already dealt with that British battlecruiser. Gonna take care not to move them into a port here on accident. I don't have any in the vicinity, so that's fine. %. That's going to be done in 2 turns. Naples. They've got some ships in Naples. Then the 2 K-class destroyers, or corvettes, out here to do something. And the 2 light cruisers as well. Right. Oh, I got this task force. Kind of forgotten. What to do about them. Let's see, what do you have left now, United States? You got 2 battleships again, so you got that one that I saw, and you got this one, which is also heading there. So it's a good thing I'm sending these ships up to join. Let's have these 2 task forces combine. Actually, send the Steedy here. Alright. Invasions. That one's going well. Sulawesi. 18,000 tons. Yeah, if I combine these 2, I should have enough. Nice. We're gonna have a lot of territory. Onwards to October. Peace. Signed with France. Alright. Let's just take everything. They don't have any ships. I got 2 territories. And admirals getting fired and warned. And we fight an American light cruiser. Right. Now it will be interesting to see where the last French territory is, because if it's landlocked, they're going to dissolve next turn if they don't have any ports. But I think they're left with like a tiny island somewhere. Which of course means they're never going to have the economy or anything to build more ships ever again, but they're still going to exist on paper as a major nation. Alright, let's just close with and dispense with this little cruiser. A little and little. In terms of tonnage, is about the almost as big as my heavy cruiser. And more expensive. But it's still a light cruiser. Not an actual heavy cruiser. So I don't think this is going to go too well for it. Unless it gets lucky with the torpedoes, which of course could happen. You got almost as much torpedo range as I have gun range, so just staying out of torpedo range is not really an option. There we go, they have launched. We're gonna do some maneuvering. I'm not gonna do a full turn, I'm just gonna bleed some speed here. And hopefully that should be enough to throw off their lead. Are we just overpenning? We should be getting some main belt. Got that third inner layer. Let's go with HE. There we go. Full pens on the extended belts. Now we're talking big numbers. Yeah, those enemy torpedoes are nowhere to be seen, so I'm just gonna assume that they missed by a lot. And there we go. Nice. And we got some port strikes. One battleship battle. Battleship Maine of the Bainbridge class. And these are not bad. Same class that sunk the Bustenskjold. Well, they're not like super impressive, but for only 1.8 billion, it's a pretty pretty powerful little package. And I'm glad I've got 2 battleships to deal with it, instead of having to rely on the lighter battlecruisers. Yeah, I'm not outranged by that much. By a bit, but not by like a huge distance. If I only had my battlecruisers, the enemy battleship would have a 10-kilometer range advantage. Not done a whole lot of damage just yet. We're firing HE at 30 kilometers. Let's see, what was your extended? About 1.4. 1.6 on the superstructure. Okay, the battlecruisers have actually found themselves taking part in the battle anyway, so they can just keep that up. Because they do actually have a, I think, better angle on it. Or maybe not. But with the amount of damage we've dealt now, and it's going to take a lot of flooding to hamper its ability to fight back. Hopefully before it scores any big damaging hits on my battleships, which so far seem to be well protected by their armor. Gungnir has actually taken almost 6,000 damage. And the main got a flash fire. I missed it. I didn't get to take a nice... I did not get to take a nice screenshot of it. The geyser of fire. Turret ring. But anyway, it's harmless now. No ammo, and also it's sunk. Nice. But they had one more of those heading into the same location. Because they're trying to invade my Britain, and Britain is only sending single destroyers. This time I did not want to mess about. I just sent out the battleships. Let's see if we can get a big 18-inch hit on this destroyer. Because these all got, let's see, 18.5, 18.5, and 20 actually on Morgan Kane. They're not capable of actually hitting though, it seems. Let's see, 20 kilometers. It should be possible to hit something now. That shell will hit. It did. And now with it slowing down, we should get some more hits. There we go. Nice. And another one. This time the job fell to a couple of battlecruisers, which, ironically, this one is actually British in origin. Canary is Greek. Yeah. Let's see, how long before we sink the Seawolf? I get the target maneuver and target small speed and target fast. Small speed, small size. And fast speed. There we go. We at least have range found. There we go. First hit. That's a 13 from Kanadi. That one will hit as well. It's a couple of 18s slamming into it. And there we go. And a couple of convoys. I have not lost a... No, I have lost transports. Never mind. I was just surprised not to be like on the top of the list. I've taken Uzbekistan. Well, the army has. I'm still 100%. This is going to be done next turn unless something weird happens. And they have, the Americans have amassed 100,000 tons of ships here. 9 destroyers. Alright. So that's a lot more exciting to fight than like a single destroyer one-on-one. One at a time. Which is just kind of tiresome. Yeah, they're sending up more ships. Yeah, they are really pumping out the ships here. That's 100%. I can probably send one of these out here to... Actually, didn't I send... Yeah. I got this invasion that I completely forgot about. Yeah, we're taking Eastern Australia as well. Nice. So, next target here now is... Moluccas. Do I have the tonnage for it though? I will once this is finished and this battlecruiser becomes available. Also, I've got a new cruiser here. One of the ones with the single guns. Before I forget, this does not need to be suspended. There we go. What was it, Moluccas? That will probably require a bit more tonnage. But we can see to that. I think I've got... I thought I had some more ships around. But apparently not. Not quite yet. Let's do the convoy battles. We got one here. Another one of these fights. Freya class versus Macon. Let's see what is the other one. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that. That is a no-go. Why are we not striking this port, which has ships in it? Right, same as last time. I will try to get some use out of this destroyer. But that does require some luck with regards to scoring torpedo hits on that enemy cruiser. Again, the transports do not carry torpedoes. Not quite in range yet, but we're getting there. Smoke up. And let's see. Torpedoes have been launched. Actually, we can retreat this more to the rear. The cruiser is coming right for me. I want to make sure, or I want to try to have it in the path of the torpedoes, but it seems that's too late. Yeah, no, I don't think the torpedoes are gonna hit. Maybe. Yeah. No, we did score torpedo hits. Luck was on my side. And there we go, the tower is out. Now it's just up to Ingrid to sink the enemy cruiser. And then snack on the transports, which are fairly harmless. I'm gonna look out for torpedo launches. But overall, this is looking pretty good. They launched one from an underwater tube. That's got to be the bow launcher, I guess. And they should be getting their deck launchers to bear now-ish. But their main guns are out of commission because of the flooding. So if I have to turn around and do maneuvers to avoid the torpedoes, that's not really a problem. And there it goes. It did not launch. Nice. Alright. Transport snacking time. It was dessert. And there's that one torpedo. Nice. Not quite in secondary range yet. The 5.9s will be in range now. I want to get a little bit closer though. I want the 2-inch guns to join in as well. Even if it's not strictly needed, the 5.9s are doing a good job of this. And the 4-inch guns on the transport's not really doing that much. Well, they're doing something. It's just not super effective. And there we go. Convoy is sunk. Enemy cruiser is sunk. The other convoy battle, I will chicken out and not attempt. Because that's just a way to throw away a couple of good light cruisers. These two are not taking on that one. We've tried that before. I'm just hoping this task force here will actually figure out that, oh, they can just do a port strike on Naples. If I move Embla into this task force, maybe that will up the chances of getting a port strike mission. This one has a couple turns left in it before it fails. And then I can hopefully get a peace treaty with the US. They have a battlecruiser now too. Interesting. Because I think as war operations, I could just easily pick up some of these regions here that they have that are landlocked. I can't really take by naval invasions. And also some of this other stuff. If they launch another invasion against me somewhere, I'm just gonna launch one against central Italy and take it. So, November. But that is, I think, enough for this episode. Let's do the strike missions and then see what we get next time. We get a single British destroyer, but it also looks like we get that battle with the American task force. So that could be maybe a little bit exciting. No strike mission against Naples, so but we did take southern England, and that means that Operation Stamford Bridge was successful. Nice. Good. And goodbye. And take care.